So, definitely play with it, find one that you really like, but man, be careful with it, because you can end up with some stuff that you can't really read. Just change it back to the customized setting and you'll be okay.
That will affect too if you do your printing, if you're printing something. Your printer won't fit on the printer.
Right. You can adjust this as far as the font size itself, which is cool and actually quite good. Because then it makes your boxes a little bit smaller, so if you have a really long call number, you can see more of the call number, or depending on how you adjust it. I kind of like this item, so I'm just going to quickly change it back, and we're good to go. Okay, a couple of other things here in preferences. We do current toolbar. Let's take a look at that, because you can set a specific toolbar. Now, in this version, it's not that critical because you can go back and forth. Now you're in cataloging right here. You need to pop over to Circ. Easy enough. You get the Circ toolbars over here. The Circ wizards. If you need to go to reports, it's right over here. They're all alphabetical. If you were to create your own personalized toolbar, it would pop it in here alphabetically. Mine is called BT Tools, and on my screen at my workstation it pops in right here, and that's the one I use all the time. If you use this version, this is where it's a little bit more critical if you wanted to be able to add elements to it, because here you don't as easily get the full toolbar unless you create one.
Would a custodian please call the office? Would a custodian call the office?
I
Thank you.
think we're in a high school. So to change your toolbar, I did desktop, current toolbar. If I did select, this little window should be very familiar to you, where you go in and pick the one that you want to go to. I don't need to do that if I create my own toolbar. So I go back to current toolbar and come down here to local toolbar management. And this is where you can create your own toolbar. I created a toolbar here yesterday for cataloging. If you don't have anything here, it will look here, or it goes all the way over here to the delivered. So say I want to add elements to my cataloging toolbar. I can add stuff from Circ, and I can add stuff from serials. I can add reports, anything I want. The only thing that's a little tricky here is you can't copy and paste the separators. The separators are it's this little faint line here. And then there's another one right here. So what it's doing on this screen is separating these static wizards. This is the item search wizard, and this is the check status wizard, from my actual cataloging wizards. And you can actually see them here. Here's my first separator. Here's the end one right after the print. This is the print guide. So moving those around is a little bit hard. You can create them all over the place, but you kind of want to create them where you want them, because you can't copy and paste them somewhere else. Let's add something from, what I did when I created a bunch of these, I kind of figured out what I wanted to add first, and then kind of plotted in my mind where I wanted to put them. Otherwise, you can just kind of wing it and then move them around as you want to. But the one I'm going to do is checkout. So I could copy it over, but there's another way that's just as cool. I want to add a wizard. So what I did was right-clicked on my cataloging. I'm going to come down here and add a wizard. I could add a group of wizards too, and then put a bunch under it. Like here, these little plus signs means that under title are 4 separate wizards. I could do that. But if I want to just add a separate wizard, and if I'm talking too fast, let me know. So I come down here to add wizard, and if you remember before, you got this little box that had sort of cryptic words, like combinations of words, add, DITL or something like that. You had to try to figure out what it was that you were looking for. This is a lot easier because it's in words, full words, and they're alphabetical. So if I want to find the checkout wizard, I kind of zoom up here to checkout, and it populates everything else. Cool. It gives me the standard icon for it. I can change that if I want to, and then I click OK, and it's added it down here at the bottom. Maybe I don't want it at the bottom, so I remove it, which seems a little counterproductive, but say I want to put it here, I right-click on titles, and I paste it before, and there it is. So I can do that with everything except separators. Separators are a little bit harder to move around. I can add them, but I could do the same thing with some serials things and then create a whole new toolbar if I want to. And the good thing is it appears immediately. And there it is. So I've got my checkout wizard. Then you just save your new toolbar and you're good to go. You'll end up with that one each time unless you want to do another one. Okay, a couple of things there. Let's move on. Only in this version can you do big icons. I don't really like them myself, but there they are. They're not so terribly big.
And I have text with them.
They do.
No.
So I just prefer this because I'll put my cursor on it and it'll tell me what it is if I'm not familiar with it. They did change the way these look, except the lightning bolt is still that, the shield is still that, and this is similar, but some of the others have changed a little bit from the way they used to look. And I keep coming back to this because I'm working up to this one, which will answer Linda's question, the desktop setup. And let me go back so you can see it again. It's preferences, desktop, and all the way down here to setup. This is where you change the view. And I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger. The part that you need to think about is down here. My default toolbar is cataloging. It can be whatever you want it to be because there they are. But what I'm looking at right now is classic. And when I have this classic open, I want to make sure that I have all three of these, for myself anyway, I want all three of these with a check mark beside them. This is what gives me my fly-by titles or my fly-by names, my balloon names. So I have all three of those checked because I want those elements. I don't want to wonder what this is. The way you change this to the other themes, the purple one that you saw a minute ago, is come down here and select the color you want or the theme that you want. When you select one of these, it will, if you're going from classic to one of these themes, the only way you get to that is to log out and back in. When you log back in, it will be whatever you've chosen here. And by doing that, when you log back in, this is what you get. This is the winter view. So I repeat this, and now you can see how the screen has changed. So all I've done here is I've selected winter instead of classic. And if I don't like looking at winter and I want to go to a different color, that change will take place immediately. I like using the word immediately, even though it isn't always. This is not my favorite view, but there it is. So you can play with that. That's, I think, one of the coolest things about themes is you can change colors.
So Trish, the difference between this screen that we're looking at right now and the one that you've been joggling with that has your personal toolbar is classic or theme? Is that?
They all are under themes, but the other one is called classic theme. If I want to choose a different one other than classic, I might want to do spring. So you can see what that one looks like. And it changes that color right away too. Lots of choices there. You can certainly play with them until you find one that you really like. The point of this, a good point of it anyway, is if you're going to use this view, you want to have a check mark here. And write this down because this is important. The reason you want this is if I don't have this checked, I'm not sure it'll go away immediately, but we'll see. My word Windows would not, when I log back in, I wouldn't have the option this word at all. And the reason you want that is so that you can tile your screens here. So if you don't have the word Windows when you first bring this up, it's because this isn't checked. And in a second, you'll see why that's important. So we've gone through everything here in the desktop, looked at all the options there. Let's take a look at tools. The first element here is the symbol table, and they've changed the way you can access diacritics. This is the diacritics table. You can change things here if you don't want to look at diacritics. You can look at Greek symbols. We've got just a few of those installed. Subscripts, they're here, and superscripts. So if you want to insert those in your bid record, you